years ago. I was aphasic, incontinent, paralyzed. I was in a nursing home in Connecticut for 3.5 months. I then went on to over 2 years of outpatient therapy, 4 to 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. I had every kind of therapy, including therapy for the therapy. Out of that, I came up with some things. I believe we need to change the dialogue of stroke from saying things like it's a year, that you have a year to recover because of the plasticity of the brain, to life is a long-term journey. And talking to survivors here, each one of them told me a poignant story of their recovery 4 and 5 years, 10 years out. So I really think we need to change that. So with that, I started to think about how do I coherently explain what can be accomplished over a lifetime journey. And so I developed Pillars of Stroke Victor Recovery. And Stroke Victor is the name of my book, Stroke Victor, How to Go from Stroke Victim to Stroke Victor. It's a how-to book, how to get better. So the first one is very important, to survivor optimism and engagement, because as we have all talked at just after earlier SSO meeting, if the person doesn't put their head into it, no matter how much therapy they have, nothing will happen. And I saw that in the nursing home and in the outpatient therapy. When people had reimbursed therapy, they went through the motions, but they really didn't actually do anything. Then traditional therapy we know about. At that point in America, reimbursed therapy comes to an end. But I say smile and keep going. And the first thing, embrace a brain and heart healthy lifestyle. I got myself down in my basic training weight. I realized I'm disabled. If I have to schlep around an extra 20 pounds, I'm going to put a lot of stress on my body and I'm not going to go as fast. Then participate in clinical research. I went up to University of Florida where I did a bunch of studies, constraint therapy, something that Superman did. I was in locomotion equipment. They had never done it with a stroke patient. I speeded up walking 25% in 2 weeks. Get involved in functional and alternative medicine. It's poo-pooed a little bit by the traditional medical community, but some of it works for some people, and a lot of it worked for me. Develop coping strategies. When I was up in Florida, they said, look, Bob, you're not going to be the same as you were. Find other ways to do the same thing. I used to be a righty, now I'm a lefty. I teach myself to do lefty. Just recently, I started using chopsticks with my left hand. Don't ask me how. Be actively inquisitive. I'm always looking for something new. And so, new therapies and treatments, new lifestyle opportunities. Right now, I'm doing equine therapy. Equine therapy has been shown to help MS, Parkinson's, TBI, and stroke. I've been improving my balance and walking faster 23 years after the stroke. So that's kind of amazing to me. So, and the last is appreciate the caregiver role. It's really important in getting better. And I'm adding one that I learned today from this meeting, which is the importance of caregiver support and environmental support to help people. People feel isolated when they're stroke survivors. And everybody, I see many people here shaking their heads, and that's reality. Support, we need to develop more support groups. America just doesn't have them. I'm so impressed with the Canadian stroke and the UK stroke and the Australian stroke. And truthfully, their stroke is way organized better than the United States. So one of the reasons I came up here is to learn from all you professionals, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a clinician, and I barely passed chemistry. So thank you. If you have some questions, I'd be glad to chat with you. Nobody.
Has a lot of this knowledge been put into your book?
The truth is I have to redo the book. When I started the book, I was very fixated on the lack of research in stroke. And so I initially call my foundation the Stroke Foundation, the Stroke Research Foundation. Frankly, I'm not a bank either, so I changed the name of the book, to the name of the foundation, the Stroke Recovery Foundation, to help people, individually people, and that gets more traction, at least in Florida. And so the old book, Stroke Victor, somebody has it, one of my compatriots here who's a survivor. It's on Amazon, by the way, and I have to update the book, but I am going to put this in. I have a lot of new things. You know, I've been bouncing around this for 2 years now, and I've, as a volunteer, and I learned so many things from folks like you. You know, I speak to everybody. You know, and my wife says now, you know, well, it's not so bad when he was a phaser.
That's fantastic. So I think others probably will have questions for you maybe after the session, but thank you so much for
And I
that.
have handouts if anybody's interested in this. Thanks very much.